What it do, YouTube? It's your boy Fuck 'em Up Phil, and I'm back with a brand new video on how to do another mid fade. And I promise the whole video is not this sped up. It's not this fast. I just like sped this part up here, the balding line, more than usual because the video was way too long when I was editing it. I got it down to like 20 minutes, and I was just like, this is just way too long for me. I don't want no haircut tutorial over like 15 minutes, like the real core of the video over 15 minutes. But yeah, ball line self-explanatory. I'm going like a little bit below where the vertical bar ends at to where it would curve at. I'm going a little bit below that, and I'm putting the line in right there, and I'm just going making a straight line. Not really a straight line. I drop it a little bit, but it's still gonna be a mid fade. It's not gonna be a drop fade. But yeah, man, just make sure you get all that hair good and clean and squiggly diggly like Mr. Clean Bald Head Ass. You know what I'm saying? Now, I put my second guideline in, like I do with all my cuts. Well, majority of my cuts, pretty much, you can say all. I've used the second notch halfway open, or halfway closed, whichever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? I put it in the middle, the lever, to make my second guideline on people with black hair. Black people hair. Most of the time I put the lever in the middle instead of going all the way open, because going all the way open just leaves too much goddamn hair to me. So I put my second guideline in just like that. And I'll push it up to like at the end of the vertical bar. Like, if you can tell where the vertical bar would curve at, I put it right where it's about to curve, like right where it would curve at. And then below that, I put the ball line. So I hope that makes sense. But so then I just go over the entire head with the grain, with the one open. Make sure when you're at the crown, you're going in the direction that the hair grows, or you're gonna gap them. Like, it's gonna be a light spot. Make sure you're like figuring out where the hair grows out of the crown at, and go in that direction when you're going with the grain. And I went over the whole head. I just chopped it up a little bit because you know, this video is extra long and I didn't want it to be long. But as you can see here, I come back with my 1.5 on the sides, at the top of the head, basically, with my 1.5 closed. And the technique I use to fade is called fading down. And what that means is I just start with my highest guard first, and then I will work my way down in guard size. And doing it that way, with that method, you don't need guidelines really, except the first two that I put in. Some people just put the ball line and they'll fade it all the way down to that, but I put that ball line in and that second guideline. But the rest of the hair, I just fade down. Usually, that's like my go-to method. And so what you want to do is just keep flicking at the hair until the hair isn't cutting anymore. Then you go down a guard size like I am right here. I'm with the one all the way open. And I'm going very slightly below where I was with the 1.5. And I'm just flicking there until the hair doesn't cut anymore. And I did the same thing again. I just closed the lever halfway. And then I closed it all the way, as you can see right there, going slightly below where I was before every time that I go down a guard size or I close the lever. And so that's all that's to fading down, man. Now I'm with the 0.5 all the way open. Oh, also, when you're first starting cutting hair, when you don't know what you're doing, always start open first when you're fading down, and then you can close it up halfway, and then you close it up all the way until the guard isn't cutting any more hair. And then you'll go down to the next guard under that. So I'm just doing the same thing with the 0.5 slightly below that one close. As you can see here, I closed it all the way up. I could have went in the middle, but I went all the way closed because I've been cutting for a minute. I kind of know it was gonna cut, so I just said, forget that middle goddamn level. I'm gonna close it all the way up and take this damn line out. So that's what you see I'm doing here. That 0.5 is not gonna take that line out all the way, so that's why I'm gonna go open with no 0.5 here in a second, and flick at that top guideline one more time. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm slightly below where I was with the 0.5 close, just like right at the top guideline, flicking out with the corner of my blade this time instead of the whole blade, because when you use the corner of your blade, you're less committed to the fade, so that means you're less likely to mess up any blending that you're doing. Because if you go like with the whole blade right now, where I'm at right here, you could kind of mess up the fade if you don't know what you're doing, but it's just better to use the edge of the blade at this point when you're all the way down to the open guard most of the time. And a lot of the times when you're using the edge of the blade, when you're all the way open, getting that top guideline out, is you're detailing the fade. And detailing just comes over time, you guys. This is another detailing technique I use sometime. I'll open the guard all the way. Don't do it closed. And just scrape at the wherever area I want to like kind of cut a little bit. It doesn't really cut a lot of hair, just like a little detailing trick. And yeah, I'm just detailing here right now, guys. Trying to get that line all the way out. And like I said, detailing just comes over time with a barber eye and with your barber skills building up over the years. And so don't fucking stress out because you don't know what the hell detailing means. You're just hitting at any dark areas in the fade that you feel like is inconsistent with the fade. And you don't have to have perfect blends, man, all the time. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have perfect blends to be a book barber. You just don't. I see it all the time. You don't have to do that. So just focus on learning how to do decent fades, and don't stress too much about detailing in the beginning when you're first starting. But now I come back halfway and I scrape at the bottom guideline all the way up to the top guideline a bit. Go all the way close and scrape at the bottom guideline. Like quick out at the bottom guideline, and then I go with my trimmer to erase that guideline, the bottom guideline even more. And so now you can see that guideline is all the way gone, or as gone as it can get. You know what I'm saying? It's very blended out, and that's what you want to look for. I used to didn't use a trimmer at the bottom, and I would wonder why the guideline wouldn't all the way come out. But my shop owner, who's been cutting way longer than me, he put me on game. He was like, "You should use a trimmer to get that bottom guideline out because whatever you put a guard in, whatever you put a guideline in, you out." And so now you see I'm going back higher into the fade with a one. I don't know if I was closed or open, but over time as you cut, you'll kind of get a feeling of what you were doing there. And I was just detailing in that area again. I wasn't really trying to set in the fade. I was just detailing again. And now I'm just continuing to detail and detail and detail. Like when you do a car, you know what I'm saying? You just washing that bitch like I need to wash mine. Matter of fact, I'm sitting in the car right now making this tutorial, recording this voiceover. But anyways, y'all, I'm about to do this other side. I sped up this other side like super, super fast, way faster than usual in my other videos. Because, like I said, the video was way too goddamn long. I'm doing the same steps on the side and on the back. But, yeah, man. Y'all, I'm about to try to upload every day because I've been slacking on this 3 days a week thing. And like, if I feel like if I don't put in the effort to record and edit a video every day, like this shit just not gonna get done. And I'm trying to be like 360 G's Chris Bazio and like, you know what I'm saying, about like 10 years, you know what I'm saying. I just want to know I got the hustle and the bustle to get my goddamn voice heard on this platform. You hear me? And I just want to give back. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about no subscribe. I just want to put out good content, like real talk consistently. And build a brand and like that helps people. That shit would be so dope. It'd just be a good ass fucking amazing career type shit, man. That should be crazy, man. I was listening to like videos of Chris Bazio and videos of 360 Jeezy was talking about like their barber journey on YouTube and just their barber journey in general. And they was hustling, man. They was hustling, like especially like 360 Jeezy. He said he was like at the shop every day. And when he wasn't at the shop, he was either recording or he was editing the video. Like when he wasn't at the shop, he was editing the video. When he was at the shop, he was either cutting or recording something. So like, I mean, I'm trying to be on the same type shit, and I hope I can be as consistent as them. I know like nowadays, barbers, like the barber community online on YouTube and shit is grown, and like it's grown way bigger than it was when they was like first starting, and it's way more competition now. But you know what I'm saying, that's why you gotta be in an industry that you love, doing something that you love, because if you're chasing just the numbers, or you chasing just the money, or just the, you know what I'm saying, the superficial shit, you're not gonna make it. You gotta do it because you love it, do it because you want to teach, you want to help, you know what I'm saying, you just want to experience that vibe of fucking serving your people, you know what I'm saying. But anyways, yeah, man. Got some ideas coming for y'all. Can't wait for this barber show in Miami in August to record for y'all. I think it's supposed to be one of the biggest shows in the country. As y'all can see, look at that mother. If I didn't do it in this video because his hair didn't need it, but sometimes it's like a lot of bulk on the edge of the hair, I'll trim over it with a 1.5 or something like that. I just knock the hair down the front somehow, some way. But like I like to start off anyways with my liners in the middle of the forehead. Work my way to one side and then work my way to the other side, and I feel like that makes the straightest line up. You want to stand in front of them, directly in front of them. Don't turn your head to the side while you're moving the trimmer to the side. Just keep your head straight and looking directly in the middle of their forehead while you got your trimmer in the middle, and go to one side, go to the other side. Then you can turn the head and turn your head once you get on the vertical bars. And I always do my vertical bars at like an angle. I don't do my vertical bars straight up and down. And yeah, so this is the end of the cut. I'm gonna put enhancement on him. And what I like to do with my enhancement, I will put my spray enhancement on first. And then I'll come back with a pencil. I use I forgot what fucking pencil I use. You know the barber pencils. I use a tan barber pencil or a white barber pencil, depending on the client's skin tone, which one's gonna show up more. But on him, I use a brown pencil, and then I'll come back with my liners most of the time and line them up. Or if I'm pressed for time, I just put the fire on it and then I'll line them up. But here, I put the pencil on, as you can see. And what a pencil does, it just adds contrast between the hair and the skin. It makes the lineup pop out more, just a way to pop it out more. I come back and blur and blend in the pencil with the liners, as you can see here. And it kind of makes it go away. It doesn't really, if you really up close, like if you really pay attention, like the color of the skin and that area and that hair, it's still some type of contrast there. And so some people don't like to blend in the pencil. They just leave it there like a harsh ash line. And I don't think I don't think that look good to me. Like it's straight, especially like on younger people. But like I think like my barber, he will blend in the pencil with his liners like I just did. And I feel like you can still see a contrast there, but it looks more natural. It looks way more natural. It doesn't look like you won't really know somebody put a pencil on it, but it's like a contrast enough to make the lineup pop out. And so as y'all can see, I put the liner on there, and then I'll come back with the fiber, spray that on there. Then I'll actually touch the fiber up again with the liners to make it extra sharp. That's the end of the video. Like, comment, subscribe.